Jeremy Kyle! Cheers, how's it going? You need to take a seat, mate. Your show's just been cancelled. Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down. Yes, Jeremy Kyle has officially been cancelled by ITV. Jeremy Kyle was a show that gets 1 million viewers every morning, so they didn't cancel this show out of choice. But why did they? We know it was taken off air indefinitely the other day. But what motivated the decision to cancel it? So what basically happened was someone who was on the show or was connected to someone on the show committed suicide. It was a gentleman, very tragic circumstances. But why did Jeremy Kyle have to be cancelled because of that? Well, I think there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. I think there's lots of information out there in the atmosphere now, and they had no choice but to cancel this show, and they'll probably pay off the family privately. They want to keep this quiet. I somehow suspect there's going to be a domino effect. Push one domino over, the rest of them fall. A lot of information is now going to come out how ITV run their shows, ran Jeremy Kyle, and we're going to hear a lot of things, because for me, ITV is a company in decline. I mean, it's been slowly declining since Thames Television lost the franchise. That's the fact. When I was a kid, when I was growing up, when Thames Television ran the ITV franchise, it was the best British TV company. It was. We didn't want to watch the BBC when we were young. That was full of stuffed shirts and people who spoke like this. But ITV was with it. It was for the kids. We loved it. But from the moment Thames Television lost the franchise, everything changed. And the decline started with Carlton. And then in the end, they went from having someone running the franchise to basically getting rid of all the regional channels and having ITV Studios. Then you could basically see what a bargain basement company this is. Now, I want to speak up for Jeremy Kyle, because I always felt that Jeremy Kyle was a man who cared about people. He used to have a radio show, and I don't know if he still does, on Capital Radio. And I remember one night, one woman rang him up saying she'd just been beaten up by her husband. She was crouched down in the bathroom, and he actually guided her live on the air to get out of the house, and she did. He literally saved her life. So I've always felt that Jeremy Kyle was a man who cared and very passionate about people and helping people. That's how I always saw him. Even on the show, I think he was egged on to be as aggressive and as passionate as he could, and he did it. He did as he was told, of course. In fact, when I first started watching the Jeremy Kyle show, yes, I did watch it because it was good entertainment. I'm sorry about that, but it was. I actually thought the Jeremy Kyle show was actually fake when I first started watching it. I thought it was just actors. I just couldn't believe I was seeing what I was seeing and the kind of people I was seeing. So I believe that there's a lot of people who have gone on the Jeremy Kyle show that the man has helped. I genuinely believe that. So I don't think it's about Jeremy Kyle. And it's a shame because his name is kind of splattered all over the show. That's difficult for him, but he'll get work. I suspect ITV will rebrand the show and bring it back. Do you remember when they got rid of the News of the World and they now call it The Sun on Sundays? This is what ITV are going to do. But make no mistake, there's loads of revelations to come. And I feel that the Jeremy Kyle show is just the tip of the iceberg, of the ITV iceberg. When you look at their schedule, you go and watch their schedule and see the kind of programming they've got. It's so basic. It's so bargain basement. You have GMB in the morning. You used to have Jeremy Kyle. Then you had This Morning. Again, not the This Morning we remember with Richard and Judy. Again, very basic. All they do is push their own products all day. And let's not forget these con artist competitions. You've got to be in it to win it. Yes, from GMB to This Morning to Loose Women, all throughout the day. So you go from This Morning to the News to Loose Women. And Loose Women isn't the show we remember. It used to be a great show for men and women. It's a bore. Then after that, it's all quiz shows. And that's all they have during the day. Then it's their soaps. Then it's Emmerdale. Then it's Coronation Street, something on at 9 o'clock. Basically, they're not even on through the night. They have ITV Nightline. This isn't the channel I grew up watching. This isn't the company I loved and respected as a kid. When we were kids, our TVs, we didn't have like remote controls. We used to have to press the channels in from the actual TV. And I loved ITV so much, I used to leave it on ITV when I switched it off. I used to leave the button on. So that's how much respect as a young telly addict I had for ITV. Unfortunately, I don't have the same respect for the company now. So what's happened with Jeremy Kyle has put reality TV involving the public, in the dock. Now, I won an Iron Apple reality show back in 2013. Now, there's been a lot of talk about aftercare on reality TV. We've seen a couple of people who have committed suicide on Love Island. Soph Gaydon, who was a friend of mine. But the point is, can you blame a show because someone who went on it a while back killed themselves? Well, this is a really complex issue. What I'll tell you is about the Iron Apple reality show that I won. I actually go back for aftercare 6-7 years later. I still can go back, and I do very often. If I'm feeling low or down and I think people are getting to me and I'm being trolled, I do go back there, and they're very helpful. So that just shows you how forward they are out here on television. And I am developing the first English-speaking dramas here on Cyprus TV as well. So I work with these people. I know them. They're very forward-thinking, and they're a lot more forward-thinking than a company like ITV. You know, when someone's been on your show and then a week later they've killed themselves. Now, I don't know. I mean, there's an investigation. It's going to take a few weeks or a week or whatever. We don't know. I just assumed this would just be buried under the carpet and a few weeks later they'd bring Jeremy Kyle back. I believe this show and this company have so many skeletons in their closet. And I think a lot more is going to come out. But in terms of aftercare, of course, it's very important that any show involving ordinary people from the public that haven't been trained, who haven't kind of been prepared to be on television and on film and to have the kind of attention that they get on social media and from the public, there must be aftercare. There must be preparation. Now, someone just made an excuse. Oh, if you don't allow people who are mentally ill to go on TV, then that's it's like you're putting down someone who's mentally ill. No, it's called being responsible. The problem is, I mean, look, from the outside, I mean, I live here in Cyprus and I've only got access to ITV through Prime Video. I can't watch the iPlayer, but I can watch ITV. And I've got it on all day for my dad, but not for myself. And you could just see how bargain basement. And this, you've got to be in it to win it competition. It's a con. It's a rip-off. They're making a lot of money. This channel is so bad. I believe this channel is a couple of years away from going out of business. I really do. I think it's that deep and that serious. And that's a shame. I would encourage any broadcasting channel, any media company to come in and buy them, because you'll probably get them cheap right now. This is a company in decline. This is a company that's going to fold. And the Jeremy Kyle show is the first casualty.